Hey everybody, it's still March the 2nd, and it's at 11:45 in the evening. I am doing chicken soup or stew. I'm going to be adding some vegetables to it, some chicken. The only thing I'm not going to be adding is the potatoes because I don't have any potatoes sitting in the fridge, and I don't have carrots sitting in the fridge. But fortunately for me, I've got potatoes that are canned and carrots that are canned. So after I finish canning, when I go to take the mason jars of the soup or whatever this after I pressure can it, I can just add the carrots or the potatoes in. Well, I'd be adding carrots to it because it's going to be a chicken soup. Um, but if I want to make it a stew, I'll add the potatoes in. Just like with the pasta or the cornstarch or the rice. Some people do the rice or the pasta, but I don't. So, anyways, I've got got my pressure canner. I've got this pot. It's got so what did I write down here? 7 liters of homemade bone broth and 5 liters of water in it. In this pot, I got this thing to put the soup in the mason jars. This, and then I've got my metal screw-on lids. I've got the vinegar. I've got the salt. I've got the mason jar thing, the magnet thing, pair of gloves to handle the where are they here? Yeah, right here. My gloves to handle the mason jar, my debubbler thing. I've got the chicken. My mason jars are in the oven here, which I'm setting right now at the 275. For It's got to heat up and then sit for 20 minutes. I've got my rubber band lids in there. I'm also going to show you how to. I've got bones here that I'm going to freeze and save to make homemade bone broth again. So I've got everything set up there. So I'll set you there so you can see what's going on here. Now I cooked up some 2 whole chickens, and this is what's in there. And I just put it everything, all the meat that I could get off of them into the pot here. I get rid of this out of my way. Watch out, Zeus. You can't help me out here. Normally, I would use dehydrated corn, but I'm going to use frozen corn this time. And I'm the kind of guy that just dumps what I think is appropriate, or what have you. Now I used a little bit of this here, and this is a 2-kilo bag of corn. So I dumped about half of it give or take a little. In there. Yeah. A bit more. half of it's in there now. I got a 750 gram thing here of peas. Boom, the whole thing's in there. And I say this is the frozen ones. Again, and I save these bags because if you got a vacuum sealer, you can reuse them. What else do I got in here in the freezer? Celery. That's vacuum sealed in there. You see, celery, and I've vacuum sealed it. So I got one here that I started to use of celery. And it's 700 and another 750 gram, 750 gram of celery. The whole thing's in there. I've got some onions here. And it's a 750 gram bag. And I put about 3/4 of it in there. But mind you, I bought onions. These onions I bought at the store because I get the 10 or the big bag of onions. And I cut them up and freeze them and dehydrate them. I think it's the 10-pound bag, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I just know it's a big bag. And then I got, do I want to put these in or not? Yeah, I'll put them in just for the heck of it. These are peppers, and I'm only going to put in half. It's a half a 750 gram bag. Like I said, I can put the carrots in later for sure because that's what I'm going to be putting in there for sure. And if I want, then that's to make the soup. It's just putting the carrots in. If I want to make it a stew, I put in the carrots and the potatoes. But I will definitely add, if I make it, this will be a soup for sure, or a stew. And if I want to make it like a chicken noodle, I'll put the pasta in, and I can put shells in there. Like I got different pastas in here. I got shells, got macaroni, I got corkscrews, I got regular normal pasta, I got linguine. I also got these ones here. Now, because and these are all 2-quart ones, 1.9 liters, and so I have to break the uh, spaghetti and the linguine in half, and this is how I get these ones. They're little, like that big, the break-offs, so I can add whatever pasta I want in there, or I can add rice. Either one doesn't matter. Um, so yeah, so I just pretty much threw the whole kitchen in there. Uh, so I will need so I will put this here because that's for there. Get rid of this elastic over here. I saved my elastics. Don't need that anymore. And I will show you the pot. That's how much is in there now. It was down just over halfway. So, I grab a spoon. I got a wooden one. Now, I'm dehydrating peas right now, which should be close to done. I've got dehydrated corn in the pantry, but if I was doing this, and will be doing soon, the next time I make another batch of soup, is letting this all, because I don't put spices, pasta, rice, or cornstarch in there. I just put my meat and vegetables in there. I would have to let the dehydrated vegetables sit in there until they absorb the water again, and possibly add a little bit more water to it. So until it absorbs water is when I can go and put in mason jars and start doing that. I'm gonna get the lids here heated up. You don't want to ever bring it to a full boil, the lids, because the rubber band on them, that's one way how to wreck them. You just want to get it so it's warm enough so that it makes the rubber band expand, and it kind of disinfects it a tad, not much. But I got vinegar in there as well too, which helps with the disinfection. Same thing in here. I got the water past the first line, and I got some vinegar in there too. And normally when I go through my chicken bones, I got a bag here started, and I get the rest of those chicken bones into the bag, and I'm going to go start dealing with my peas, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got some of the green peas. As you can hear, they're pretty hard, and they shrivel up a little bit, as you can see there. And they're dry. So yeah, that's what they look like. And then I got this bag, all the chicken bones in here, and I used it in my vacuum sealer. And this used to be a pork loin vacuum sealed bag, so they are reusable. And the good thing about that is they are food grade. So I will be back when the soup is ready. It should be ready in a couple of minutes to start canning. Okay, I'm back. The mason jars are all heated up, and the soup's ready to go. there's one thing I did forget to grab is one of these so I can put all the stuff that I want in there first, and then I use the other one that's like this to put the liquid in. Now, because I'm using the top of now I've washed this out, and I know this is one of the most redneckest things you've ever seen. This is the top of a bleach thing, so sometimes I got to use my debubbler to push it through the hole like this, because some of the chunks of chicken might be a little too big, but we'll see on that. I'm hoping I don't have to, but I think I will. Might have to. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to use it, which is okay. One of the biggest things I like about making my own soups is I can put whatever I want, as much as I want. Well, I wouldn't say that, but and I can make the pieces of onions or celery, peppers, whatever I'm going to be putting in the soup. I can make it as big as I want. Well, as long as I can deal with it getting into the hole, right? So I try to get a mixture of everything as best as possible into there. Maybe a little bit more in this one. Yeah, that's good. Now I need the liquid one. Try not to get too much peas and onions in there, whatever is really floating at the top, which is kind of hard to do. And I fill it up so it's got about an inch at the top. And I got my salt and stuff over here, and I with the salt, I got a 1/4 teaspoon here, and I put 2 of them in there because this is a 1 liter jar. A 1/4 teaspoon per 500 milliliters is what I normally do. And then I got my rag here with the vinegar on it, and I just wipe it around the top like usual. Yeah. right on. I got this fixed. And then I put that on top. And then take the screw lid. And I do it hand tight. And put it in there. And I'll take you through a full cycle until I get it all up to pressure, show you how the rocker works. And because I got more soups in my pantry, I'll show you that when I get this up and going. Okay, time to shove everything. Oh shoot, the one thing I forgot on this one, if you forget to, it's okay. Just undo it here. And you gotta debubble it like this. Not the whole way down, but you try to get as much of the bubbles out as possible. And then if you have to do this, you have to re-wipe everything down, including the lid, where the rubber band is. And then screw this back down, hand tight. Then I can get this shoved back down into here. Right. Hopefully that'll be enough for this one. Now I'm only putting enough, like 3/4 full or just under 3/4 full with all the stuff, the solid stuff, and I'll show you in a second. Okay. Oh yeah, gotta come closer. I fill it up about that much, because if I'm gonna be adding the carrots or pasta and rice, it's not like I can't add a little more bone broth or water to it. For the pasta or the rice, but so that's what I usually want. And but you always want to have, or at least I find for myself, is to have some liquid in there as well too. So it's like a soup, right? But if I'm doing it like a stew, I fill it up a little more than that. It's about 2/3 or a little more than 2/3 of the way, and then the rest with liquid. Because I usually got potatoes in here. And even at that, if I were to add the canned potatoes that I got sitting in my pantry room and the carrots, all I got to do is add some cornstarch, and you're not wasting the cornstarch as much. And then now it's the 1/4 tablespoons of salt. I debubble it. And And then I wipe it down with vinegar. Grab a lid. Yeah, the magnet thing came out of here. So I just grabbed some crazy glue and crazy glued it back in. So, and it works. And then screw lid back hand tight and then into there. Usually when I fill up this pot as much as I did, and I kind of sit here and laugh at it because I like doing it like this, because I get a good amount of like a real good batch of soup. It doesn't matter what kind of soup I'm making, because there's usually farms up here. There's farms up here, and I can go and buy meat, like a big chunk of chicken, not chicken, pork or beef, and because I've worked in the meat industry for a number of years, for 30 plus years. It was family owned and operated. I can go get like a quarter cow or half a pig or a whole pork shoulder or a whole pork loin, or a whole shank, and make my soup like how you're seeing now, right? Go buy a couple of chickens, because I was just talking to a farmer, and this week I'm going to be going over there and buying some pork. I just look at the prices in the grocery mall, and I get what I can afford, right? Just like everybody else with what's been going on the last couple of years, right? But anyways, this farmer's got a supply of pigs still, and so a whole bunch of chest freezers, and they said it's about $5 and change a pound right now to buy off of them. And like I said, I can get custom orders from them if I want, because they know who I am through my father. So they have no problems doing that. And I'm sure that they wouldn't have a problem doing that for anybody else that goes to them. But I can't really speak for them and what they do. So now it's time for the liquid. And that bone broth that I put in here, it turned out really good. Now I usually, doesn't matter if I'm making beef soup or pork soup or turkey soup, I usually put the chicken broth in there, because beef bones are a little too, they're tough. My last dog that passed away a little while ago, he was a Great Pyrenees, and he'd basically chew it right down. Depending on the beef bone, he'd shatter it with his teeth. He's got a pretty good bite, or he had a pretty good bite. I think it was somewhere in the ballpark of 500 pounds per square inch. So any deer bones I gave to him would break. Any pork bones I gave to him would break. So beef bones, like the shank bones, would pretty much be the only thing that would stand up to his bite. So he was a good dog. God rest his soul. But anyways, I've got another dog now. It's a Great Pyrenees Miramar mix, and having the experience I do with my last dog being a full Great Pyrenees, I know what to sort of expect with this guy, and he is a male, so he's gonna be a beast. At least close to in and around 150 pounds tops, roughly speaking. So would come up to the top, about waist height, where roughly the very top of his head would come about here, roughly. That's how big they get. Where that was the Great Pyrenees, but because this guy's part Great Pyrenees and part Miramar, he might be a little bit smaller than my Great Pyrenees was. And it's going to be a long night. I usually get up around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. But with doing this right now, it's going to be a long night. Which is okay by me. So it's going to probably take me 2 attempts to do this in the pressure canner. So that's fine by me. The more the merrier, right? How many mason jars I'll get in the second attempt, I don't know. But I know that this is I can put 7 1-liters into this thing for sure. Two 1/4 teaspoons in to bubble it. And then wipe it down with vinegar. There's the lid, there's the other screw lid, hand tight. Geez, I like this fridge here, you know, because when I gotta push this stuff down, I can lean up against the fridge while I'm doing this. Wanted a little more meat and corn in that one. The salt, and then I gotta debubble it first, and then the vinegar. Yeah, it's starting to smell really good as is right now. There's no spices in there, and there's no carrots or potatoes in there, but like I said, I got canned carrots, so when I go to open one of these up, I can add the carrots and the pasta and whatever else I want in there. Yeah. I even got canned mushrooms, store-bought canned mushrooms, even if I wanted to put them in there. I could when I go to open these back up again. Get the salt out in there. Debubble it. You know, everything up to the pressure canning, it's so easy to do. But when it comes to the pressure canner, like I probably spent maybe a half an hour getting this all ready. But I gotta wait a whole hour and a half for it to do its thing in the pressure canner. But you know, come the winters up here in Canada, it's great. because I can just throw this in a cast iron pot or a pot of some sort that can withstand a fire. I usually got a couple of those kicking around when there's a power failure. I can also use it on a pot on the barbecue if I want. I can't wait for to be able to get my wood pile there and start cooking on my wood barbecue and my wood smoker again. Put the barbecue away, the propane barbecue away for the summer. I'll make a few videos of that this summer. You'd be amazed on what you can do with the wood smoker I got and the wood barbecue I got. All right. Get this turned down to very low, or keep warm there. And then get this all the way up. The salt. I gotta debubble it first. And then wipe it down with vinegar. One of these lids here. The screw lids. And then this goes in there. And that be 7 of them. And then put a little cooking oil in here. It's right there. And then all I do is go like this, so it goes along the whole gasket, the rubber gasket there. And then I look here, where is it? There it is. There's a couple of marks here. Line them up. Like that. I can take the glove off. Now it's going to drip along the edges here of oil. These back. Yeah, that's just the oil dripping. I always wipe it down as it does that. I got some more mason jars. I didn't use all of the ones I got in the oven. There's 3 left in there. So I put these ones in there as the oven's on. And let them sit in there for 20 minutes. With the temp, the other ones won't be affected, at least that I know of as of yet, by sitting there for this length of time plus 20 minutes. That's, I've been doing this canning thing for almost 2 years now, and so one thing I do know is when you got half decent, like pretty decent mason jars, is you can have them sit in there, like you see me open them up, the oven door, and it's been on this whole time, plus 20, plus I turned the oven on at 275 while they were in there, and then kept opening up, and then it sat all the way up to 275 preheating, and then plus 20 minutes. And every time I opened up the door here, and then another 20 minutes, so that's how you know, and they don't crack yet. So that's how you know you got some pretty good mason jars, is when they can withstand that heat. The one thing I do with canning, I'm at, I think, pretty close to 1,500 feet. So I got to use all the weights. I do recommend that if you do pressure canning, you check your elevation, because that does have a big effect. Somebody like me can't. I don't know how this thing. I just know that when I have to use all the weights. And see, there's one there. That's one weight. So that's 2 weights, right? I think this one's like here. Alright, so that's 1 weight. So that's now just become 2 weights. And that has become 3 weights. So that's the full thing, right? So that's what I have to use. But because I live here in Ontario, Canada, I live in North Wellington County, which is about close to, for argument's sake, 1,500 feet. It's just shy of it, though. I have to use all the weights. But somebody like, say, in Toronto, where they live like right by the lake there, Ontario Lake or whatever it's called there, they only might have to use, take those two other weights off the first weight there that sits on top, because they are closer to, say, sea level than I am. And I can't just use that one weight. I got to use both of them, because if I use that one weight, it's not going to seal properly. Now this has to be in here once it's all up to pressure and the rocker's going at a gentle weight. It's got to be in here for an hour and a half, 90 minutes, because they're 1 liters. 75 minutes for the 500 milliliters. So now I got a little thing right there. Once that's popped up, which I'm trying to get to do right now. Not that I'm intentionally trying to do it. The rubber gasket's got to warm up a little bit because it is used a bit, and expand up a bit. Shit's hot. Not exactly ready yet. I'm just putting that on to get it but it's not ready to be on there properly. It's almost there. It's ready. Now you can see that stuff shooting up there, the steam there. Okay, once you got a good, like see how, okay, that's probably good 5-6 inches. Alright, then while we're waiting for this to start to rock, I'm going to take you into the pantry room to show you what I've got for soups and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Those are some soups, and then I've got some stew and chili, and another soup in there. And my chili was made Monday, October 26, 2021, and it's still good. My spaghetti sauce was made in October 19th, 2021. My beef stew, and it's just like exactly the way I made it, but it's got potatoes and carrots in it, because I had potatoes and carrots at the time, and it was made in September on the 28th, and it's good. Still, I've got some bone broth right to here, and it's still good, and it was made on June 19th. My chicken stew, right, because I got potatoes and that in there, and it's still good. And it was made September 28th. I got some other chicken soup, which was made on the same day, September 28th, and it's still good. I got some beef vegetable, and it's still good, and it was made in May. I should probably get some of that eaten up. And then same thing, I got some pork soup there, and it was made in May 2nd, and it's still good. So, yeah, as long as the stuff keeps its seals, like I unscrewed the lids a little bit so that I can double stack them, right? So, yeah. Get the lights off there, because they do better in the dark and in the cooler weather, or the cooler. Let this start rocking so you can see how it's supposed to rock. And then after 90 minutes, an hour and a half, you take it off the heat, and you see that little tab thing? Once it goes down, you're good to open it up, and you unlock it by turning it. You actually, how I do it is I take the weights off, and then after that little tab thing's gone down, and then I unlock it and have it so it when I grab it by the handles, I turn it so it's away from me, so I don't get a good bunch of steam in the face. And it takes a little bit for the pressure here to build up when you got all the weights on there. That's okay, because I got time on my side. Because there's 7 1-liter jars, and that's like good when I go to add the carrots and either potatoes, pasta, or rice. Each one of those 1 liters can get me 2 meals, 2 meals and a lunch if I were to really if I ever had to, say, for argument's sake, I needed to watch what I'm eating if I had to cut back for whatever reason. The grocery malls were starting to run low on food, or I couldn't get out because of the weather, whatever the case may be. I can scrounge it down to 2 dinners and a lunch, roughly a smaller lunch, and that's even with bread too. So I'm gonna get this coffee in the microwave here, because I got this old school percolator. These 2 things, right? Because the hard water up here, it's pretty bad. And then it's just this, because I got it filled up to roughly about there of water, and it goes in like this, and then you can see it percolating up through this glass thing. I normally put it on medium heat. The lower end of medium heat. And normally by the time I'm done that coffee, it's almost ready, if not ready. Yeah, that's getting ready to go. Shy of it. There we go, it's starting to go. And I got this on the lower end of medium. That's when I turn the heat down from high as it can go. I turn it down to the lower end of medium. You don't want this thing rocking like crazy. And then now I check the time, and it's 1:23. So that's 2:23, 2:33, 2:43, 2:53. I can take this off the heat, let that little thing go down, take the rocker off after it's done that, take the lid off, up and away, like so that far end goes away from me, and take the jars out with this. Very carefully let them sit on this little rag thing that I got here on a marble thing, because my island here, my 2-level island, is wood, and it will strip up the sealant on there. So yeah, so 2:53 it comes off. But you see how it's rocking there, nothing violently. You don't want, that's about what you want. So I hope you give this a try, and I hope it's been useful. Have a good day.